Fuck the government bullshit. Bitch, you try to get big crushing fist. Fight the fucking race. Freedom, bitch.
Are those as big as shot glasses? I don't want to like overdo it. What's the shot? Like what's the
maybe half.
How many inches or centimeters? Or
Just pour like that much in there.
is it ounces?
Not the whole thing.
Ounces, inches, and centimeters.
Ounces and I'm talking about the size of the.
I know the amount.
Oh, great.
Oh, great.
We're all going to sleep. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's his then, right?
Put it back in there.
I'll do my water.
Well, you know, thank you guys for coming over and wanting to do this.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. Thanks for cooking, Nelly.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is
Thanks for being born.
to family
Aw.
and yeah, birthday, everything. No, that's a bourbon. Thank you for bringing that over.
Oh, yeah.
Having me allow it. Well, you know, thank you guys once again for coming over, chilling, and we'll just normal conversation, see what's up. I know it's been a while since I posted, or at least did a podcast, but I posted one recently. You know, with Sasquatchamo. Yeah.
I bet that was good.
Yeah, it's up now. But yeah, I mean, shit's a new time, new 2020 fucking year that is so crazy.
Do you know that there is a song called FU 2020?
Already?
Yeah. I heard it on the radio coming here.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
It's-
F2020.
Or F 2020, whatever. It's still the same. But yeah.
F 2020?
It was on the radio.
Well, you know, a lot of people don't like this year.
For good reason, I think.
I say so.
Yeah. What do you guys think about it though? Like, do you like 2020 or is it like
We're over it. I'm just over it.
it's kind of crazy?
It is.
You know, I mean, for one, you know, catching the virus, which we fucking did. I don't give a fuck. I could say, I fucking, we caught that shit. We got it, right? We just caught that shit. It was not fun. It was a rough few weeks, you know, but we got over it. You know, we're young, we're good health, whatever. But I think that really, there's something along with it, like mentally, where it kind of puts you back in check to where you're like, hey, yeah, get your immune system up. Push yourself to be a little bit more healthier. Push yourself, you know.
Almost
Get
like
up.
you could have been better.
Yeah.
In a way.
But the thing is, you're always sick, though. You always get sick.
I know. Well, I'm surprised I'm fucking still alive. So I got a good immune system.
Every time I call you, hey man, I'm kind of sick. I'm like, oh my god, this is like beginning of the year, and it's only 3 months in, and
You're fucking sick.
You're
Hey,
sick
when it
for
gets
the third
too damn
time.
cold, that's what kills me.
Sick for the third time. It's only been 3 months of the year.
Isn't it crazy, man? Remember back then when I had when I got pneumonia, that's where my health, I think, changed a lot. I became a health nut. But before I got that pneumonia, we got into that accident.
Took a lot of nuts too.
Motherfucker.
It's good.
Remember we got in an accident before the summit, Navajo Nation Fair? Dude, that was a spiritual change for a lot of people. Or for all of us.
For all of us.
4 of us. So, like, my uncle stopped drinking after that. Just completely. To this day, he doesn't drink. He's a big fucking seller. He's a cartel. I'm just playing. But no, like, for real, though. Like, everything changed, I believe.
I mean, it honestly opened my eyes because, you know, you always hear it on the news. Oh, you know, terrible accident on this and that. Excuse me.
Yeah.
On this road. And then when you actually become a part of it.
Yeah.
And you survive a casualty of that rate of, in that instance of that type of accident, when you're the main entrance of it.
Yeah.
It does open your eyes, you know? Makes you think you're here on this world to do better, make better. So,
Yeah.
that's what I take out of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of the spiritual people in the world, they talk about how your spiritual awakening is basically like some traumatic event, something that's like a big change or something happens huge. Yeah. Like, so that accident first was like my big one, right? And then after that, I caught pneumonia. And then I was, which was kind of worse, which was pretty bad. It was worse than this. I would think it was probably worse than this virus. This virus is kind of annoying because it didn't have, you don't have no smell or taste. But then it was constant, every day, fucking fever shit, you know?
Yeah.
Aching and
But
all that.
I can take this from what, the bad of it. I mean, I think it goes against how your body reacts to it because, like you said, you starting to take better care of you after pneumonia. I mean, this is a pretty hard hit to the body itself. I mean, think about it. People died from it. I mean, not to talk bad about it, but about them is that. But when you take better care of yourself, your immunity and everything is up there, and this defensive mechanism is better off. Like now, I mean, that you got something that is like.
Well, yeah.
You know?
And that's the thing. Like, what if I didn't catch that pneumonia and I didn't understand and didn't take my health serious, and then boom, 2020 comes and virus hits my body and I'm fucking 31-year-old male fucking passes. You know, something happens. Like, we're like, oh, well, that was all in its divine purpose for me to catch that pneumonia early in life, be able to better educate myself and to prepare myself. And this is why that spirituality kicks in early, so it protects you down the road, because you need to grow. You need to grow and be able to rise up and be able to take care of yourself. Listen, look, we're going to give you this sickness for now. But this is a lesson for you, because the future, you need this to be able to survive what's going to come.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that, like, I was like really putting myself, it was like, man, almost like people probably need to realize, and this is one of the things, like, this is another journey to another realization for people to catch this, and if you survived it, great. But it's preparing you for the future. Something else might be coming that maybe, okay, now you understand that you need to be able to be in a little bit more shape, to take care of yourself a little bit more better, to be able to improve yourself and understand and have the knowledge and be able to grow and be able to push forward. Because look, the future is bringing something that we don't even understand yet. You know, you're not gonna know until it gets here.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? You know what I mean? So I think, like, man, it's good that, like, people can, if you just really understand and listen, like, not with your ears, but with your mind, with the voice within, you know, something. I mean, it's a deep thing when you go deep with it, you know. And I think a lot of people, because right now I don't think anyone takes good care of themselves, you know.
It's true, because I had a conversation with a person that had said, in every aspect with the Bible of everything, I don't remember the guy that God tested
Yeah.
and tested him, and he had everything, and then took away everything from him, and then he would basically like going back and taking everything from him and seeing whether or not he'll break his spirituality of faithfulness to the Lord. And he had basically just, beside what he didn't say that, but beside like what he said was that maybe this is a way of God telling everybody you need to take better care of your health,
Yeah.
because this is an awakening of, you know, it's whittling the, not, he didn't say whittling, but he said like, you know, people that the weak link, you know, some stuff like that.
Yeah. Like kind of like awakening themselves.
Yeah.
To, hey, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
There's a new, you know, like a new earth or whatever, a new consciousness, a new something is coming, a new energy that's going to overlay earth. You got to be able to be prepared for that. Put in place something that will make you, you know, prepare your body, which is the virus or something, an outbreak or something, to make you change.
Yeah.
You know? And a lot of people fear it, but you know, it's like, I mean, it is pretty crazy because your own family, you know, I might pass away, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's pretty deep.
I mean, even the media didn't even take, like, I mean, think about it. When it first came out, they were like, oh, it's only affecting this group of age. And then you got this group of age where they're like, it's not affecting me. I can run around with a mask.
Mm-hmm.
That was a problem. And everything happened.
Yeah.
And then you had the second wave, which was bigger than the first wave.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody is slowly taking effect, like, you know, hey, this is actually real. But when you have that section and say, oh, it only affects this person and that person, in that moment, is, I mean, you're working off of data that you just got. How the hell are you going to go and say it only affects this people or this age group?
Yeah.
You haven't had a clear outbreak to anybody else. I mean, that kind of media, that's what, how much media force it takes in on today's, you know,
like
economy.
Media.
I mean, think about it. I mean, like people, you talk to some of the youngest ones and they don't even care. I mean, shit, you got people walking around without masks.
Yeah, and they don't give a damn about their elders.
And then they're saying that it doesn't affect my age group. Bullshit, you can be a carrier.
And then I feel like the older people, the ones that are like the boomers that are in that high target, they're the worst. Like they don't want to wear face masks. They like pitch a fit and call it crazy and ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Political.
I've heard, Remember, like when we go to like Sprouts or something, they're like, "Oh, I'm glad you guys didn't put up a fit." I was like, "Oh yeah, all right, sorry, I don't know." I mean, you know, obviously people were putting up fits, like, "Fuck yeah, I ain't wearing a mask." Rebelling against, yeah, you know, something that you don't understand. If you caught the virus and you're like fucking. You know, like, I can understand, like, wow, you catch this shit when you're older, or you have like, medical, like, you're compromised with some kind of medical problem or something, you know what I mean? Then that's probably where, you know, that's going to bring problems. Like, that virus will take a toll on your body.
Yeah, I mean,
it's pretty crazy, but, like, at the same time, I don't know if it's a dose, because when me and Nell got it, it's like, man, the kids didn't get it. Even though we were positive, you know what I mean? Like, but like we were, of course, me and her were laying next to each other and all that, and then boom, you know, I caught it. You know, so it happened pretty quick, but like the whole thing was just like, wow, shit, man. For 2 weeks, laying, like, it just fucking floored, you know? I'm like, what the fuck? Was it the dose? The dosage? Is it the dosage, or is it just like, you know, droplets? that will fuck you up. You know, we didn't know. Like, we was just like, wow,
Yeah.
shit, this is it.
Because the kids didn't take it as hard as we did.
Yeah, they didn't take it as hard. So it was almost like, it was just, like, they didn't even lose their taste or smell.
And
So,
an aspects too is like I was watching this thing they have on Snapchat. It's kind of like a news Snapchat that they do like posts like quickly, you know. And they were saying whether or not COVID affects the brain. And they were saying, well, if COVID affects the brain and you lose taste and smell, that's partial of the brain. So
yeah.
how much it does affect when it's at that point where it's really serious, they don't really know. This is like something new, you know?
Yeah.
So they don't even know that stuff other than the fact that taste and smell come from the brain. I mean,
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. I can, you know, the taste and smell is from the brain, and if it did affect it, then I believe that in order to like get rid of it, you would have to exercise, like exercising. I mean, like not like strenuous. When you're like in the middle of the virus, it's important to at least move your body.
Yeah.
In a way to where your blood is like slowly moving out, you know what I mean? Like out of the brain, out of the veins, out of your kidneys, out of all this shit in your organs and all that. Get the blood flowing. And I believe like even after you're done with the fucking getting over that fucking virus, there's still a fatigue lingering, because that's what I can confirm it, because the IHS like the employee health nurse actually called me and was like, hey, we just want to call to evaluate, see how you're doing, and how after you got over the virus, how did you feel, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, man, I couldn't even hike my regular my workout routine or whatever. I was doing not even half. I was doing less than half of what I was able to do. It was hard breathing. I was like, man, that was like for like a month. And I just recently started being able to go back, but it took me that long. I was fucking working every at least for a few days out of the week. I was like 4 days, right? For a month. So like, I'm like, man, yeah, I was like, you had to exercise.
Yeah.
There's people, turn on that light over there too, Steph.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn on that. You just need the fan on. It's ridiculously hot in here. But yeah, I mean, I was like saying, I was telling her, I was like, yeah, like whoever has it, they have to like work out or keep walking, doing like just moving their body. I mean, because you have to get that out of you.
If you think about it too, like for example, like even I understand you sleep, you have to get your 6-7 hours of sleep. But when you actually just lay in bed all day, your body's constantly making fluids. So when you're blowing your nose and everything links down. And what happens to pneumonia? It's a liquid that goes into your lungs. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Your lungs fill with liquid.
Yeah.
Guess what? When you're laying down so much, you're gonna get pneumonia when you fucking lay down.
Yeah.
Because that's liquid moving into your lungs.
And that's one thing. Now she was laying down for like you slept for 20 hours.
Yeah, one day you slept for
Now tell that.
hours.
That's what I mean. See, like
Tell that. Okay,
they tell you to stay in bed, you know, stay home, but
Get some rest and all that stuff.
but then
But
they
at the
don't,
same time, you're aching and you just
you know.
you don't want to get up.
but
You
you
just
have
wanna
to
stay
push
still.
yourself.
You have to fight through it.
Yeah.
She stayed for 20 hours. And my mom called. And she was like worried. She was just like, you know, hey, you know, what you guys doing? I was like, I'm up. I'm in the studio. Like hurting, but I'm just moving. I'm just here. I'm up thinking, like moving, and then I laid out in the sun. you know,
Give me some D.
and then fucker, and then she was just laying there, just think like, and my mom was like, you know, what is Nelly doing? You know, it was like she's just fucking. Sounds like she's just sleeping. She just said, she was just like, get her up and have her move too. Like, don't just let her lay there all day.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, yeah, you're right, Mom. And and after that, you know, I got off the phone with her and I went in there and I woke her up. I was like, hey, babe, get up. You know, I should be, drink. Like, I was like, let's go for a walk. Let's go walk the park or something. You know, get up. You know, and she did, and she was, and about your dream.
Yeah, I seen my mom and my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
They were telling me in Navajo, like, and else can't stop. You know, you need to wake up and move around.
Mm-hmm.
And
That tells you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
for me, because to hear my mom and my grandma, and it seems like they're really there. You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a sad and happy moment, but you know they're there for you, trying to wake you up.
Yeah.
they're there to like protect you, get you up, move.
You know, there's like,
Nah.
I believe there's like a higher purpose than a lot of people, especially. I mean, like a dream like that you know, people are there. They're there all the time and watching. You know, it was just.
Well, then people don't realize that this also is a year of the spiritual, like the communication between the spiritual, the guides, the people that are really gonna be there to help and protect you through this hard time.
Yeah.
A lot of people like maybe they don't understand, but there is a lot of working in the invisible now, more than ever. The transition of this whole thing, like people are like actually understanding a lot of it now. Yeah. The awakening basically is literally the shift is happening now.
Yeah.
So like people are actually like, you know, more in tune into what they need to do, being better at taking care of themselves, rising up pretty much, which is good. This is where we at.
I mean, when you live well and do well, I mean, you have to spiritually live your life well enough. I mean, and then you physical world. I mean, I believe in like doing small things for other people that are less advantaged than you. I mean, like just doing. You don't have to like donate a lot of money for something, and then just see a homeless guy that's hungry and walk by just because you donated
already.
Yeah. I mean, you donate anything, any people you see in life, you donate to. I mean, just
to anyone.
I mean, either whether or not they're fighting addiction, you don't donate money, you donate water, donate food. I mean, something to help them for that day.
Yeah.
Not in a negative way. I mean, negative ways, I mean, you're giving them the option with money. But other than the fact of giving them food, water, drink. I mean,
and that's
I
good.
mean, like, living that way, I mean, I believe in that because, like, the whole accident and everything like that. I mean, a lot of stuff has changed in my life where my uncle was always that way. He was always giving, and never, you know, wanted anything, received anything other than my mom. She's like a freaking angel, I swear to God. I don't know. She's weird. I don't know. Not weird, but she's just she's just as bad as my uncle. She continuously gives.
Give.
Yeah.
Which,
and that's good. I mean, but some people take advantage of her. I mean, of course that's part of the world, but and people you don't want to inspect it, but it happens. But in that aspect, I've learned from my dad's side to be more on like I was like more like my dad, where I was just like, don't put your trust in one person at that time, And then now I live with the spirit of my uncle. Just give, like, when you feel the person out, and you feel them out, and just
See what's up.
see what's up. You know, you don't have to give everything. Just
Just give a little at a time.
yeah.
Keep pushing.
I mean,
Well, like, you know, that's just like that's just one of the things too. Is just pushing forward.
I mean, that's part of, like I was telling you, just live spiritually in a good way. I mean, happy thoughts all the time in physical life, you know?
Yeah.
Get to a less fortunate or less advantage. You don't know
Well,
that.
and that's one thing too is like giving to people. Almost like when you do bad. So it takes it back to like skinwalkers. When I talk about skinwalkers, a lot of people are like, man, what the fuck? No, but like, let me tell you something that is like more than like, it's like, it'll put it a little bit more in perspective because like the police, we have physical police here, right? So when you go outside and you murder somebody, you commit a crime, you're gonna get in trouble in this law state, right? In this fucking state filled with laws, like you cannot murder. That is wrong. Police are gonna investigate and they're gonna come after you. They can find evidence and they can do forensics and all that, right? Okay, so that's the physicalities, right?
That's
a
physical evidence. Yeah.
physical.
Yeah.
Spiritual in a way where it's like, well, hey, look, listen, you're over here putting in pins in a doll and you're thinking about this person and you're trying to think bad about them. Well, then guess what? That's a police. Like there's invisible police, right? Which is the universal law that you're not able to like do that because of karma, the karmic problem that will come back to you. Say like a lot of people don't believe in karma.
I would strongly believe in karma.
You strongly believe in
I
karma.
strongly believe in karma.
So like karma is like something that it goes against you in a way. So like if you're thinking of death upon someone, right? Like you're thinking like, oh, I wish this person did, and you're praying satanically or whatever. You know what I mean? That this person passes away. And, you know, you're putting in this and this. There's a karmic law that will protect the lower people. Like if you're spiritual, if you're higher spiritually than someone who's on a lower plane, there's a karmic law that protects that lower vibration, that person. This seems crazy, but there's always the law of the universe that basically comes back to that person that is on a higher level, that will actually, something will happen to that person, whether it's, you know, they get deathly sick, ill, pass, or something, depending on what kind of shit you're doing and what you're doing to maybe many people or a certain person or something.
True. I mean, there's always a check and balance of life. There's always.
Yeah, physically and spiritually.
Oh, Google just tried to say what's up.
Google. Yeah, hey Google,
Google.
how are you? Yeah, thank you for Pornhub.
You
Fucker.
asshole.
Oh yeah, you want me to search the same video as like 2 fucking weeks in a row?
Shut up. So, I believe that, but there always a check and balance of life. Any aspect of it. I strongly believe in check and balance.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you are a person, you know, a Yanagloshi, or you're that's Navajo for demon, you know, that person that's
Demonic.
just demonic stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're in that type of style, there's always something protecting you no matter what on that side.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect that person that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, they've already cause a loss in their family, or they have to. I mean, that's their sacrifice to that side. They can't sacrifice on them, and then they wouldn't be having the power.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always something, but I mean, I was telling her the other day, we were watching, some Ghost Adventures, and I was telling her, like, Native Americans, there's a summoner of a person that does the work.
Yeah.
And then the individual that actually does it, whether or not he's physical or he's spiritual. There's not really, from my understanding, is, like demons, demonic stuff like that comes. There's no really thing for that for Native Americans. I mean, you can't just write off a demon,
Yeah. Like as far as like shunning them off.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Maybe there is, maybe there not. From my experience, I don't know. But
like as far as like you bring the Holy Bible, the
like,
cross,
so
and
if
you
you
shun
go
them off.
into a double house or a house that's been demonic, and it gets attached to you, I don't know if there's actually a guy that can actually take it away from you.
Like you're saying, a medicine man, like a Navajo nation, not a Navajo tribal medicine man cannot take away a demon.
I don't know.
Entity
I don't.
attached
Maybe
to
they
someone.
can. Maybe they can't. But you gotta understand too is when you take an attachment away from something or take something, you gotta put it somewhere else. That's the way the Navajo nation or the Navajo tribe is.
Mhm.
Is because when the medicine man goes outside,
He takes it.
but I mean, he gonna do so much. But when he goes out there, he's literally talking to whoever. Because when you go out and they talk to they're outside for a little while, for a little bit, they get out there and they talk to the spirits. They talk to anybody that's there, because when they're there, they're running around the Hogan. They're doing something. They're trying to disrupt the area. So that's kind of a physical person, a physical being, like it, or that's spiritual. But
Physical being trying to communicate with the right entity that's not demonic.
Yeah.
And you're saying sometimes that they
I
communicate with
don't
some
know.
certain
I don't
people.
know. From my experience, I don't know whether or not there is a thing for.
Well, I can tell
demonic. I mean, like you can see, like when you're in the dark, you can see an individual move, like a person, or like a sheep or something like that.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to like actual spirits, like the devil, that stuff, I don't know how far they can. I'm not saying that we're not strong enough to take on that, but I mean that's just pretty intense, because I strongly believe in that, and I'm a how do you say a person that has been through that, with countless spiritual stuff, that I had to go
Going through the spiritual path, you've kind of noticed. But a lot of the times, like I think when it comes clear to you.
But the thing is, you gotta understand too, is it's not just one time. You have to go all the time.
Yeah, you have to go through it, and then also what you intake in your body yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like we had to be cleansed.
You have to be holy for 4 days.
But like if you're not holy, some of that will leak through to be able to like see. You can see the light, you see the change, you see the difference. Right? You see that spirituality thing, whatever.
Because the way it is you went in there as yourself. And you stay as yourself as you walk out. Yeah. So that's what they say. So that's why they don't want you clipping your nails, washing your hair. Cutting your hair.
All that. Yeah.
Because you're spiritually being holy, and you're giving. It's like a sacrifice. Not sacrifice. It's more of a way of letting them know. Like, like I believe in you, like, You gotta stay holy for 4 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hi.
Close the door.
It's okay. It's alright. We heard every poop that came out of your body. So it's okay.
Boom, boom,
Bloom, bloom, bloom. That was real quick.
After she knew you heard, you go squeeze it back in.
Gross.
Cut it off.
No, but I mean, it's. I mean, it's a strong belief to be Native American. I mean,
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand that. I mean, that is. I mean, being native in itself is the most powerful thing that any native should understand. Like, if you think about it, there's a lot of natives out there that joke in their language. Like, you can speak Navajo, but if you're joking, even about yourself, those are the most powerful language that you're using within that. That's meant for just prayers, pushing goodwill upon humanity, pushing good for the earth, pushing good for anything, the spirits, your life, your future. And when you joke about it, like the people like get drunk and drink and they joke, and it's like you joke about something like, you know, beso ten, or anything like, you know, Yanni, you know, is attacking me or something. Like all that in Navajo, you know, all that is almost putting out a more powerful, it's pushing out powerful words that like, well, they're deep. This is why the language is losing. This is, and one of the things like people say like, oh, well, Native Americans, like, you know, they, you know, it's not that, you know, it's not that they were strong or warlike mentality. No, we weren't put on Earth to go seek and destroy.
no, we weren't.
We weren't put on Earth to seek, destroy, kill, battle the enemy, or try to take over other land. We were actually here to be able to be more spiritual, take care of the land, and pray for Mother Earth, and really hone in our the health and love and happiness of life
real
on
quick,
here on Earth.
When you say not to make, you know, seek and destroy, to jump on that topic really quick here.
Yeah.
You know, when the Navajo code talkers were going through it, you had two Navajos, one on a battleship, one on the land.
Yeah.
You know, they had shot. I had watched a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
They had shot a code from ship to land, or I'm sorry, from land to ship.
Yeah.
And then interpreted it within 30 seconds to bomb a certain area to continue pushing forward. 30 seconds. They took in a deciphered code from 30 seconds of coordinates. 30 seconds from there, 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
In English, it would have took them 30 minutes more to an hour to decipher where the coordinates were going.
Yeah.
That's how powerful that language is.
It gives me chills. And when you say that,
that's what I mean. That's what the government does, as weaponizing something.
And they took our language. Not only that, they took the language, and now they have new technology to be able to do a lot of things in less time.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
I mean, you got one person that is throwing a chord, throwing in coordinates, throwing it, and you got the other one decisive, just putting it together.
Yeah.
You know, quick. But that's what happens when the government puts a language that's sacred into something the Japanese couldn't decipher. Right? I mean,
that's how they won the war. Like that's what I'm saying.
That's what the whole of, how do you say, we weren't even going our own land. We're invading on another land. That's how powerful. That's why we took over these lands really quick. Because we had these battleships rounding the island, and you got these guys, you know, shooting
Fuck yeah.
coordinates to each other in Navajo, and then they already know these guys that are listening on the same channel are not gonna break it.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
like, what are they underwater? What are they talking about? No,
Yeah.
like, see, and that's the physical. That's just talking about.
That's what I mean.
A little
That's what I mean.
communication, like, on the physical realm of the situation, right? That's the physical part of how powerful our language is.
Yeah.
It puts you in perspective. Okay, now. Our language was never used for war. Or
No,
it's
it
never
wasn't.
used for anything
No, it was
else
never
besides
weaponized.
deep prayer.
Yeah.
Praying to the earth, praying to the universe, praying to the frequencies, the vibrations, the love, the energy around us, the auras that you have around your bodies. It was used to be able to catapult your blessings and your prayers and what you want for your future and your kids' future, to catapult that into the universe and be able to build and infrastructure a better way of living, and to also help Mother Earth to be able to be vibrant and live a good healthy, strong habitat, life, so that feed off Mother Earth and be able to live and keep going. That was our purpose. And that was our only plan and everything until they had invasion, and then all this stuff happened. Maybe it happened for a deeper purpose, that we had to be wiped because nothing was maybe elevating differently in a way. How, like, that's where I'm not sure of. Like, that's where I want to be able to understand is like, well, if we were living in total harmonious, living in abundance, living in the world of health, wealth, love, and happiness, the pillars, the 4 pillars plus in life, right?
Yeah.
The 4 pillars of life, to be able to live happily ever after, to have wealth, abundance.
Yes.
I mean, back then, wealth and abundance, I'm talking about like you had enough, over enough, like you didn't, back then probably wasn't money or whatever, but you had horses, you had food, you had everything that you need to live and to be sustainable.
Because the sustainability of life of Native Americans, I'm sure the greed was still there. Greed is always there.
Yeah.
But you live off the land. You prosper off the land. What's given to you, you live on. There's no infrastructure of, he doesn't make enough money. And then since he doesn't make enough money, his family suffers. And everybody worked. Everybody worked together. You might just live 6 feet.
You help
10
your
feet
neighbors
below.
build a house.
Yes, the tribe is there. You live on different areas, but you're living off the land. These Native Americans, they were, they found a way. Think about it now. Growers now are sucking the soil life out of the ground, and they're finding ways to do things. But Native Americans, what they used to do was grow corn, which was their main, one of their main properties, and then they would have beans and they would have squash. So beans is good for soil.
Yeah.
So is hay. So is alfalfa.
Yeah.
It produces nitrogen in the soil, so that's what's really good.
Yeah.
Because corn takes a lot out of it, and then you got beans that needs to grow and then climb. When beans grow, they need to branch out.
Yeah.
And you got squash. Well, squash will literally, if you plant squash around an area, there's no weeds.
Yeah.
So that's what they used to do too.
A weed eliminator.
Yeah. You think about it.
I understand.
Not Native Americans didn't have no sacrifices. I'm sure there's a higher purpose for God that they looked up to, but
they figured that information out.
Yeah,
They figured the information.
They didn't need to.
Based off of Ancient Aliens, do you think aliens had any part of that?
Probably. Not to discredit anybody or put credit on anybody, but if you actually watch aliens, I mean, some people make fun of it, but it is. If you think about it, and they don't say this is what it is, but all they're saying this is the theory
of
that
what
could happen. There's no.
Well, they look at deep evidence of
Yeah,
what's reality, what happened, what's the resources.
She was like,
And have you ever noticed that they always ask the question? They always say, "Oh, we found this. Could this be a spacesuit? Could this be agriculture that was taught? Like, just to get your mind.
I mean, you think about it.
Because that's how they do it. Like scientists ask open-ended questions.
The hieroglyphs are obviously they have a fucking tall ass person that looks like a lizard with a little circle on his head. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, who would draw that back in the day?
That's just a guy with a fucking bubble on his head. He's just special. But yet they all look up to this motherfucker. You know?
Like why? Yeah.
Right?
And that's understandable. Like all these different things. Like we can. Like these aliens, like they're even Egypt, that whole thing, like all of it.
Yeah.
Well, like the pyramids, something from Earth aligns from something up in the sky in the universe.
It has
Perfectly.
If you think about
it,
real quick here, not to interrupt, really, but if you think about it, the Earth, you can look at the stars and like think about it, and you're like, oh, Orion's belt, you have all these stars, but then that's just one galaxy that we live in. What if in the next galaxy they're looking at us and saying those motherfuckers, back then they live over here, and
that's Tommy's belt. That's fucking where Earth is.
Right
over here is over.
When you think about
it's
it,
not
you're
this
like,
mystical Orion.
It's not Orion. That one over here is we're
belt.
Tommy's belt.
I mean, because when they had like a theory is galaxies, like there's not just one galaxy, there's multiple galaxies.
But like they say, there's a lot of galaxies out there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Alright, let's sign off real quick.
All right, go for it, man. No problem. We can
I'm not
continue.
putting it
this.
down. That was too loud.
It's really loud. I didn't expect it to be that loud.
Yeah, now your
It's
whole
really nose.
entire restroom is
blew my
on
nose.
this podcast.
So embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I mean, what I want to try to do is get more podcasts out.
Yeah.
To try to figure out what we could do as far as like, I want to push more music out too as well. I don't even know if I should separate my accounts, like podcast, YouTube, but then I have the music also, YouTube.
Right.
And I don't know. I'm still in the works. But I'm just putting it all under Black Chief Rezmade, and.
Is it too much work to separate them?
Not really. I mean, if I just start opening a new account and just posting, and if everyone likes the podcast, they will just subscribe to that.
Right.
But then I would have to push it out a lot. You know what I mean? Like, just to keep it on. But
you should keep them separate just
because
have
whoever
some
likes the
organization.
podcast,
Right.
because they, not a lot of people like hip hop.
I mean, you can always like link to your music without.
What are you guys talking about?
About separating my accounts like podcast and my music.
Where'd that come from? I'm talking about aliens.
We were, but we were just you exit the room.
You excused yourself.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
No, I mean I was just saying like if I should have a different account specifically for podcasting.
That'd be nice. I mean,
like, I don't know. Or I just do it all under one of my accounts, but like my music is gonna be in there. Plus, they're trying to look for podcasts. If they want to look for podcasts, I guess you could search it or whatever.
Right.
But
I mean,
it is.
I mean, you think about it, searching is pretty prone. I mean, like you can search anything.
Like Black Chief Podcast or something.
Right.
Black Queen.
Fucking asshole. Anyways, your alien shit that you wanted to, you want aliens to butt fuck you. We were at that point, and you walked out.
So.
What do you think about aliens now? Like,
I mean.
What do you think?
What was that?
What do you think about aliens?
What's your take on aliens?
What was my take on aliens?
Yeah.
Look like listen. I tell you what, aliens to me. I used to say, fuck aliens. You know what I mean? Those fucking bitches. If they're real, they come down and help us.
They help us.
But then I realized, okay, wait a minute. What if? Yeah, hand me one. I mean, you know, aliens. I believe in it, honestly. This is what I believe. I believe just because of all this shit that's coming out right now is fucking ridiculous. Like the child trafficking shit that just fucking pisses me off. All these different things that are coming out.
Yeah.
You know, all these different things that are like surfacing. You know, Hollywood, and pedophilia, and all this fucking bullshit. Like, I understand, like, you know, this is crazy, but, like, there is a video I've seen a long time ago, and it talks about how these aliens, they have underground facilities, underground bases, that, underground cities, under, like, certain military bases. So, like, there's, like, down, and they do a lot of human studies. I mean, this is stuff like little bits of information. I got it from a random fucking video. And I was like, wow, what the fuck? And it seemed real. And all the shit on that video it talks about, this was years ago. And then now all this little shit coming out about all these different things are coming out. Like people who are whistleblowers who come out and say like, yeah, they really have a strict thing. That's why they created the dark web. They know what the fuck is going on. The military or the government is always 40 years ahead of the population technology. So you have technology that is ahead, but we're not all the way aware of it. Every year they come out with a vehicle or some kind of technology, you know, that's feeding you a little bit.
Whoever
Right.
buys it first.
Whoever, oh yeah. This one has a new camera on it. You know, we added a new camera on the back of this fucking phone. You know, we have a backup camera now on this vehicle. That's a 2020. Or you know, you stop and the engine turns off. And you go, you save more gas. You know what I mean? Like they might have something that lasts fucking all
big
fucking
baller,
year.
we know you.
I was just saying, 2020, don't say. No, but for real though, like I know. No, but like I'm saying like, yeah, they might feed us that right now. 2020 might, oh yeah, you got this new technology. This is great. But then again, like they might have some shit that like, oh yeah, you don't need to. You can fill up your gas, and then 1 year later you have to fill it back up. You know, something like that is where it's like really a difference. If something like that is happening under our nose, right? Like it's not even like we're kind of getting close to understanding what's going on. There's whistleblowers. This is where it's at. But aliens that exist upon us now, I think, is very real. Just because of the fact that there's people that have credentials and that have been missing, or that gone missing, or that passed away during their time after they blew that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, boom. Well, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, look. And this puts me back to where, like, okay, well, my Native American people, my people had to do a long walk, right? They had to get slaughtered. If somebody from the west or from the east was coming along, we're in Arizona, boom, they come and they're like, hey, listen, look, there's people that got off of boats and they're slaughtering every village on their way here, every city, every town. They are coming here to slaughter us. And we're like, we don't have phones. We don't have no fucking Apple News. You know, we're here. We're just like, okay, great. Well,
What's it got to do with me?
yeah, we're doing dinner here. Like, we have a bone and arrow over here, so they won't mess with us.
Bone and arrow?
Bow and arrow. But see, they don't mess with us. But then they're like, no, they have armies. They have a huge, thousands of people coming this way, slaughtering us. Are you guys going to get up and do something? Train, fight, get together, band together in the whole West region and go against the people that are killing others? You're just a conspiracy theorist. Guy, you know, what are you gonna do? What do you want? How are we gonna?
How did you get away?
How did you get away? How did you do this? You know what I mean? Like, you should have been locked up and killed if that was the truth. You got away. They let you get away. I mean, but then like boom, it's like, well, then there you go. There's the problem. And then next thing you know, boom, they're here. Thousands. A brick wall of militant soldiers coming to destroy. Seek and destroy. When my family is here to be only to pray to Mother Earth and be able to take care of the land and be able to pray for better abundance, prosperity, love, health, joy. And then after that, boom, you know, slaughtered because of something that they avoided or did something. I don't know. You know, it's crazy to me, like, that's almost like, wow. If that happened, manifest destiny happened, and we're talking about that was, if you say something like, well, if I talk to my kids right now, hey, you know, they slaughtered people every day by the fucking hundreds. Yeah, and they'll be like, yeah, no, yeah, Dad, you're a conspiracy theory. Oh, no, here's a book. It's called Manifest Destiny. It's documented.
Yep.
Oh my, that's your tribe. Your tribe was a part of that. Mm-hmm. Your heritage, your tradition, your values, and your DNA. That it could be affecting you today with the way you live and be successful in life. That could be affecting you right now, and and right now you're disregarding it. You're saying it's a conspiracy theory, and you're saying all this, and you haven't even read the textbooks of it. And that's just the textbooks in the English and what they wanted you to know. But there's even deeper, worse shit that happened to the people, man. That's not documented.
But if you think about it too, sorry to interrupt. If like all tribes that were how do you say were slaughtered, if you count the amount that was slaughtered and then you put them together, the whole amount back then, there would be no fucking white people here. Yeah. We would just all rise together. I mean, back then, tribes hate each other, of course, yeah, but if you take the amount of tribes that were slaughtered at night, shot at night or whatever, raids by the cavalry, if you take and count how much thousands, millions, hundreds, millions that were slaughtered, you put them all together, we all band together, we push forward, think about it, there would be no cavalry left other than the fact that
that's one thing. That's why we
need to rise.
We weren't full of seek and destroy. That's what I'm saying. If we were seek and destroy, then that would be a different situation.
I'm just rising the numbers, telling you about the numbers. Like,
Okay. Thank
you
you
gonna say
again.
that?
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep.
Oh yeah. Well, grand entry. I'm the one that needs to sleep, even though she's off for 5 days.
I'm tired.
Was she?
For sure.
Navajo swish.
Swish. But I mean, just think about it.
Yeah.
You know, the numbers that were slaughtered.
Yeah.
I mean that doesn't even count kids and wives. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know who they're counting.
Yeah.
If they're counting their own people,
Mm.
you know, that's one thing.
That's fucked up.
Hold on.
That's crazy. So, what is your take on that?
My take on the slaughtering?
Yeah. On anything of it. I mean,
I
don't
think
you?
it's just crazy to know that, like,
First, I mean, like, how do you count millions when, like, they're just disturbing burial grounds?
so most of them just, like, throw them in a dirt hole somewhere.
That's what I mean. And all they do is dig a big ass hole and throw people in.
So, and then you think about it, like, you have all these white people that are just like, oh, I'm 1/16 such and such, you know?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I mean, I don't take
You can't
any.
even go here.
I don't take that in account at all. I mean, does it bother me when people tell me that they're? Let me ask you this really quick.
Yeah.
Does it bother you when a white or not white? I should say a Caucasian says, "I'm 1/16 Cherokee," or "I'm 1/16 Apache," but they're clear as day white.
Well, we don't
What?
even,
Oh.
we don't know.
I mean, I'm not
I mean,
trying.
there's a lot of natives that look white,
I'm not trying to disgrace anybody. I'm not trying to put
but
people down.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm just looking for an opinion. I'm not trying to say they're not or they are or. But
Well, you know, to me, if they have a CIB, then yeah, I mean that's cool. Like that's their tribe's rules. What the fuck?
a CIB you can only get
When you're a quarter.
when you're a quarter.
Well, then you should only talk fucking quarter.
That's true because a CIB.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you have a
can-
CIB, you can't
only-
come and
you
tell
can-
me.
You can only claim a quarter. You can't.
Yeah,
claim
well,
more.
whatever. You gotta be a quarter to even talk shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't. That's what I don't get. Like when they were saying like, oh yeah, well, good, you're half. That's good. You get to get a CIB. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? You know, if I was a quarter, yeah, you still qualify. Oh, well, less than that, you don't. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because you're less. You know, way less. Like of a.
You're
well,
more dilute.
you're
So-
dilute.
So they got you at 2.24 on there.
You know, it's 1/2. It's half.
Is it 1/2 now?
2-4.
Well, what the fuck is that?
Well, okay, 2.4. Half. Yeah,
half.
half. Okay.
Yeah. Like
You have to reduce the
I know.
fractions.
I'm sorry.
no, like half. That's what my CIB says. I'm half.
Okay.
I'm half Navajo.
Well, on mine says 4.4. That's what I mean. That's
Well,
what.
dude, you know
It
that's one
didn't, it
thing.
didn't say like 1. It just says 4.4.
Yeah, and that's one thing why I call myself, you know, that like Black Chief. I don't think a lot of people know why I call myself Black Chief, and this is why I have a song coming out. It's called Racism. My name came from the res, and through racism, there was a lot of racism going on the reservation with my
People
skin
don't
color.
know. Any tribe can be racist.
Excuse me.
Yeah, well, all these fucking natives are all like,
I
you know,
mean-
all these people were talking about, oh, racism, like Trump's a racist, Trump's this, like there's so much racism, like I'm like, dude, there's so much fucking racism on the res that you can't even talk shit because it's at home as well.
It is.
And it's been there
it's
before.
pretty-
I seen
it's-
fucking half blacks hang themselves.
I mean, it is. It's pretty disgraceful.
And a half black murdered. One of a rap that was a famous rapper that was actually famous just on the res. He killed him. I'm not saying like, hey, you know, that's you know what I mean, like
Excuse me.
that's something that's like, whoa. Like, I don't, he deserved it or whatever. No, there was racism going on. And when somebody has been beaten with racism, like shit
Slurs.
that you've been, slurs, anything. Like, you grow up in it, you just get sick of it. And you fucking, like, boom, you act out in a way. Hey, man, I got into fights where people were talking shit about my skin color. They called me nigger. I didn't give a fuck. I fucking went over there, started fighting with them, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't, if...
When you were in Chinley...
You were with me.
I was with you.
You were with me, the fucking skater dude. Was it that time? Or was that with you?
No, I don't think I was. What, you fought a skater?
I fought a skater.
Yeah.
Well, he called my name out, and it was like, what the fuck? I think it was Josh. It was somebody next to me. I was walking. No, it was fucking Isaiah.
No.
Isaiah was the one that I was with. Isaiah.
I heard about it, and then they're like telling, like hey, first time I got home. I mean, when I got to high school, I was there. I was mingling, and then the people were talking. Like, what are you talking about? And they were saying the N-word. I'm like, why you gotta call him the N-word? I mean, that. And I saw you. I was like, hey, what's
What's up, nigger? My buddy's calling you that. What is up?
I didn't
No,
know.
dude, for real, it goes on, man.
But then I met you through friends. Isaiah
on the football field.
Yeah, Isaiah was one of my best friends at the time.
Yeah.
At the time. So we hung out, and then when we played football, that's when my senior year that you were there. You were tight end. I was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
And that's when I met you. And then we talked briefly a couple times.
That's so precious.
Whatever. So we talked a couple times, and
He admired my catch.
no.
No, but like for real.
And out of nowhere, you just fucking disappeared. I'm like, okay.
Thought we were cool.
He didn't call me.
Disappeared. Well, no, that's when I was there for that whole. What was it, junior?
I mean, I when you were going back,
still
not to
hurts
interrupt
him,
you, it's
basically.
just, I mean, I heard people like say those words. I'm like,
Say
why?
they
Why?
talk.
Why?
It's on the res, man.
Why?
And I was going through that.
And
I was like, I had literally fight my fucking people. Like even though like I ain't causing shit, I ain't say shit to these motherfuckers, and they call me that fucking word, and
right.
they're trying to,
And
they're fucking pushing that shit, right? They're pushing me. Like I didn't even want to fight or do anything. I'm over here trying to figure out like, okay, let's do this, let's ball up. You know what I mean? Like let's go to the weight room. And these people were talking shit. Like, some of these people were fucking so, like, it was racist, where I were like, well, I have to fucking check this fucking bitch, because he's gonna keep coming at me if I keep letting him do this shit.
I mean, yes, I understand. Like, I experienced racism not with my own people, but in a different, area. But
Like, different
I
races.
know your hardships are greater than mine, because I mean you consider yourself Navajo, and I truly think you are. You're Navajo, and there's no takeaway from me. And when I first saw you, I didn't think you were an N-word or whatever. I just thought you guys were an individual.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you're a half, other than the fact that people were telling me, oh, there's a black guy on that property. I'm like, there's a black guy in high school. I'm like, oh, what are you talking about?
Well, because there was like little bit of black. There was probably me and I think maybe one other half fucking person
Yeah,
there.
there was. He was
Micah. Wasn't
was-
it? Somebody.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Micah, and there was another.
There was another someone. So there was three.
Yeah.
Out of like thousands of fucking other motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like natives. But
You guys have any
that's
white kids?
No, black, like.
no. There was
Black.
like
There was-
like white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any white people?
No white people. No
This
Caucasian.
this was like Chinle. Like this was.
Chinle is.
There might have been half white. You think?
No,
Or there was none. I didn't see any.
any.
Well, that's where it was. Like I was like, whoa, I was in there, fought this dude, and he probably thought I wasn't gonna do shit. I don't know what the fuck. But I'm like, dude, you're fucking coming at me like this, Like I had to literally fight, and that wasn't even the first time. That was not even the first shit ever. When I was young, I was going through it. Like even when I was even going to school.
Yeah.
When I knew I was gonna go to school on the reservation, I already knew I'm gonna fucking be able to fucking start. I had to be ready to fucking because I knew if I wasn't in school and I was getting shit talked to by other people, this is my cousin friends, all these people, and I used to ball up at Jedito. There's a courtyard, right? So they had.
Did you lose all the time?
No, I dunked on everyone. They fucking
suck.
called me nigger, dunker.
Yeah, right. 'Cause I beat
I was
you.
like, bitch, fuck you. Watch this, you know what I mean? Like, no, it was just something that like ever since I was young, I would go through that problem. I would literally go in front of a lot of natives, and I would be like thinking about my skin color.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
because
terrible.
I'm like, these
terrible.
motherfuckers are gonna be. Dude, when you have that looming on your mind, it's not fun because you're like, man, I gotta either like these bitches are gonna talk shit, these fuckers are gonna look at me like, it's not a good feeling, and it sucks because it's like, well, what am I gonna do? I don't want to fight. My all might fucking jump me, but if it comes down to it, I gotta stand my ground, so I gotta punch a motherfucker in the mouth. What am I gonna do? And it still occurs to this day, and I still want to beat the fuck out of these people. Like it's not even like for me to hold up and control it in ways like maybe I can control it in a way, but like right now, I mean I can control it. I ain't gonna lie, I can control it because I've been through it. But I've seen other people go through it. Like there's other people who are like half, and especially this little girl, man. She hungered health.
That's terrible.
Because of that problem, and it's like, fuck, man.
I think I'm hard.
And these kids are not fucking.
It's in any race. I mean, it's not Navajos, it's not white, it's not black.
Yeah.
It's in any race that does this, but
I'm just saying, like,
but,
why?
But the thing is, no, I understand, but what I'm saying is that it shouldn't be that way. It should never be that way. Never, a kid you're growing up should never think about the color of his skin. No one should. I mean,
yeah. Fortunately, that happens.
That's the case of
and
it.
people are suiciding themselves.
Yeah.
And also, when that little girl did that was a problem. What she was going through in school. I mean, this is for real. That's Nell's niece. That's Nell's niece. She knows the mom. Everything. Like even though when that rapper probably was talking shit too to this guy who was half black, same like me, half black and native. He was talking that shit. Dude got stabbed. Now he's doing time. He didn't want to do that.
No.
I'm pretty sure people probably like, oh, that fucking dude is an asshole. He's like, but like, man, he probably, if you're saying that he was there and he said some words that when he was a child, he heard them words. Every time he was around fucking people, like natives, he would hear that. Like, he's thinking about his skin color and they fucking talking shit, laughing, doing all this shit and the fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like, even being bullies to this motherfucker. Like, yeah, he's gonna take a knife to your fucking rib. You know what I mean? Like, that's not some shit that is like, whoa, you take lightly. Because I understand from that shit is like, whoa, well, like, this is why I call myself Black Chief. You guys want to be racist? Okay, well, guess what? I'm black, I'm a chief. I'm half black, I'm Navajo. This is going to come from a racist environment. And if I fucking blow up, this is what the story is. There is racism on the reservation.
There is racism.
There is some shit going down. that shit is not fucking right. Well, what do we
It's
do?
not, because, like I said, I grew up with you in that high school.
Yeah, and you heard this shit.
I
Everybody.
heard it. I did.
Even if I call up Louis, Zaya, all these fucking people, my cousins, Fabe, all these fucking people, they will know. They will be like, yes, I co-signed to this shit.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
It is, and it's sad. I mean, like, take away from that person stabbing that other guy. I mean, there's two things you can take away from. One, I'm sure the knife that he was carrying was for protection. Two,
Yeah.
are based on one, he shouldn't probably have that knife if he was going to be aggravated. Three, he was probably in an environment he shouldn't have been in. But that does not go back to him, it goes back to the crowd. I mean, any person, I'm not trying to make notations of it's his fault, but
Like, yeah, he should have understood the situation and
Yes.
avoided it. Like,
Yes.
if I knew a motherfucker was gonna talk shit, I would avoid that situation.
yes, I mean, yes, that too. I mean, that is kind of part of it too.
Yeah.
But the main thing is, he shouldn't go into a crowd and feel threatened. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
It shouldn't.
And that was a problem with me. Like, I would like, fuck, I'm going here, and like, that's on my consciousness. Skin color. Here we go. And that shouldn't be a problem, but that was what goes through my mind. You know?
It is. I mean, shit. You going? Are you good?
Yeah, just put it right here.
It's not gonna be as cold, man. You're just barely working out, bro.
Yeah, that's alright. Just put it back in there.
No, but
Thank you for being real loud with that.
shut up. No, I mean, seriously, like, honestly, if my kids were, when I'm going to have kids, if I ever,
If you ever have
Had-
kids.
you know,
Yeah.
like, I'm going to have kids. Check yourself, lady.
You want water?
Yeah, please.
You want to take a shot, Steph?
In a second.
But I would probably just, like, seriously, I mean, for me, that's not a joke. I don't joke with that, like, seriously.
Yeah.
And to see and hear that you, I already knew you kind of went through it, but
Well,
we never even talked about it, dude.
We never did.
I mean,
Well,
this is like
because nobody never did. Nobody never does.
it's true. I mean, like, nobody never does talk about it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like, for me, on my CIB it says 4/4, saying I'm full-blooded Navajo. I'm not full-blooded Navajo. I got mixtures of Apache. I got mixtures of I'm
Yeah.
part Irish, dude.
Yeah.
And look at my skin color. I got
You're black too, aren't you? I pulled out last year. And you,
Fuck.
yeah. I was like,
no, but like Zuni.
yeah.
You know.
No, yeah. I know. Yeah. I mean, like, everyone's mixed with something, right?
Yeah, everyone.
And
there is
this
no
is-
full-blooded Navajo.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, people. Well, that's why some people say, like, they're Cherokee. But they don't have a CIB, don't have any papers or whatever, because they're, their descendants or whatever. They have all these different types of things in them, right? Like different races, nationalities, whatever. Yeah, but you can claim whatever. I mean, maybe that is true, but it's really less than a quarter.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're less, you know what I mean? Like, you
That's
have
not-
all these different
That's
things.
the bad thing is people take advantage of a lot of stuff. Like
And yeah, they it could be
And-
one you're literally less than a quarter. You're fucking hyping that nationality up. Like, oh yeah, I'm fucking Cherokee. I'm native, man.
And
I'm native.
And the thing is too that is misconstrued of everything is that I get a tax break. There is no fucking word or nothing written to me when I grew up that I got a tax break.
Yeah.
I'm full on my regular CIB says full net. I'm not. But people ask me, do I get a tax break? I'm no fucking way. I don't even have a tax. I don't even have anything that gives me a fucking tax break. Where the fuck does that come from?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no.
Yeah.
I pay taxes just as much as everybody else, if not more, because I make overtime.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. That's a misconstrued conception of being native.
Yeah. And yeah, that's true. Like even when you get a ride or you want to try to fucking show your CIB, that doesn't work. You got to make sure you live. You have a fucking residence on the reservation to even qualify for a tax-free whatever the fuck you're. And it has to be a major purchase. It can't be a candy bar that you get down the street at Willy Wonka's factory. It has to be a fucking. It has to be like a big purchase. You have to be getting a vehicle or a house,
right? So, answer. When you go and get a mortgage in a house, there is a tax break if they can loan you some money.
Yeah.
But it's not yours. You have to pay it back.
Yeah.
It's only for down payment, but yet it gets tagged on at the end.
At the end, they
for the
fuck
mortgage.
you. Yeah, it's stupid. And
That-
these, and
I mean,
we
that
got fucked by-
they say that's a fucking break for a Native American. That's not a break for a Native American.
that's deferred break.
That's yes, exactly. That's a deferred break.
And these fucking bitches fucked us so hard and so fucked up that like if people would understand the real shit and understand like the financial literacy of what the fuck is going on and how natives are being fucked, you know how many people would go to the fucking Navajo Nation government and tell these fucking bitches how fucked up they are, about how fucking stupid their deals were back then when all those 150 fucking treaties were fucking broken. You know, it's all like, well, you know, oh yeah, all this is all fucked up and fucked off. Okay, great. Well, do you guys want this deal? We can give you, you know, free government assistance. We can give you billions of dollars, a couple billion, or not even,
hold on.
a couple millions of
But
dollars.
hold off on that treaty of 1868, whatever. I think that's right. But the thing is, I'm sorry, not to cut you off really quick here, is you got multiple chiefs that are signing something they have no idea what of. You got a guy that is trying to go and tell them this is what they're gonna do for you. This is what's going
A lot of
on.
it's not even in their language.
That's not even in a language. I mean, come on, like, talk about government screw. I mean, like,
That's the ultimate screw.
come on.
And
Like,
even now, whenever you sign like a consent form or an agreement, like it clearly states on there that you are of sound mind and you understand basically what the breakdown is.
I mean,
Where was that then?
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, the translator didn't translate anything right. I mean,
like Chief Manly Ulito was probably like,
I want
Put
to kill
away.
white men, but I can't. 'Cause we're
that's
fucking.
all, I got like 3 fucking warriors, and the other ones are fucking. No, look, like seriously, man.
Like, think about
There
it.
was that's why they strategically fucking literally took out all the people. Crazy Horse. People who were really like Chief Tecumseh.
Yep.
People who really wanted their people to actually live good and to prosper and to be able to grow and be able to be successful. And not even that. Like, you didn't have to be successful. They wanted people to be able to be already living on the top before these people can even try to like, hey, like, you guys come in, well, this is what it is. Like, we have to be
You want to know?
be able to pay for our horses and be able to pay for our land. Like, we shouldn't even pay for all that. You should be giving us money. You should be giving us checks. You should be giving us, and that should be a monthly thing.
So the whole thing was, okay, these Caucasians were riding the gold rush.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're riding through the gold rush, you going through Apache land, you're going through native land.
Yeah.
That's what the government was.
Yeah. I mean,
Think about it. Nevada, California, all those Arizona.
oh, what the fuck, man? Like,
Think
those
about
people.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think about it now. I just now thought about it. It's like, you know, all these lands that they had during the gold rush and all this stuff like that. Like the government started raiding these lands because these Caucasians, gold miners, were trying to get something that was
Mm.
worth something.
Well,
But they
that's a
never
problem.
in any history book they never talk about. They talk about the gold mine, the gold rush, but they
Yeah.
never talk about
Uranium rush?
No.
Oil rush?
not that. I'm talking about at that time. Like you think about it now. I mean, like, why would you take a whole colony of people out from a land that's been prospering already?
Already. That's what I'm saying. That's why even
it's
Russell
money,
Means
it's
talking
always-
about how Native Americans should be richer than the Saudis. Or as rich as the Saudis. We should be living like the Saudis. Like, you know, they're living on oil. We should be richer than the Saudis. They're fucking living on oil, right? We had fucking land we were on that was uranium, coal, oil, fucking
Yeah, but-
life, water, all this shit.
But the thing is,
All this-
uranium is only on Native American soil.
Well, they scooted all of Native American, the reservations. They scooted to the fucking most desert, not even flourishing, you know what I mean? Like these land, the land that we were pushed on, were not even, they thought it was not good. It was not even, worth it, right? But then they found out that was the richest land.
Yeah.
Here they go with their bulldozers, everything coming in. Oh, actually, there's some shit here that we could utilize. We could use. Can we make a deal? Yeah, and totally just screwed the name. And these people who were in charge at the time, they didn't even fucking were appointed by the people.
No,
They didn't even appoint. They took out the chiefs of the Native Americans. They took out the chiefs, basically the leaders, right? The warriors, the ones who were in charge of the tribe. They took them out. They killed them strategically, planned it. Also appointed people that were, they could just anyone in the tribe that was able to speak or talk or do something. Right. It's just like going in a house or going into a crowd and trying to pick the dumbest people that they can find to be able to get fucked.
To appoint them for leadership.
Appoint them to leadership, yes. And then, so now you have these people who don't even know what the fuck is going on. They don't know what the hell to do. They don't know what's right, what's wrong. So then now they're like pointed to the highest whatever the fuck and they get forced to sign. And then now, we got the deal going, the boom, boom, boom. The highest corruption, the most fucked up thing that you can ever do to a people is you do it right there, right then and there, and to be able to get away with it and free and clear. Fuck. And now that we are living the way we are living, it's just a reflection of all those fuck ups and those fucking corrupted bullshit that we have been through. There's a lot of things that's like so wrong and so fucked. Right now, I say that every Native American should be a millionaire. That's being fucking nice. That's being polite. That's being fucking really fucking, generous to say that every Native should be a millionaire. Should at least have a home. I even broke it down. these fucking people, man. The tribe now, the people that are in charge now, the government, man, dude, they can build grandmas all across the reservation new homes. My auntie, my family in Jedito, up on by Four Corners area, they gotta put mud on the walls to be able to, keep their inside warm. That's how ridiculous this is all going. Mud mixed with a little bit of cement, right? So then you're telling me that people don't need homes and rebuilding and fucking running water. They got electricity, but that's barely, you know what I mean? Compared to what they could have had a long time ago, running water. Even till this day, there's no plans of that where they're at. That's in Jedito.
Yeah.
And you're telling me to stay home for your 30-day, your stupid fucking quarantine shit that you can't even take care of your own fucking people, your land. People should be living in a fucking mansion with running water, all type of shit, heaters, lamps, fucking solar panels on the roof, and you're saying you can't help that? You can't help those people? You fucking government, you fucking piece of shit. You know what I mean? That pisses me off. To even get more deep and deep under the layers in this onion that we're talking about, it pisses me off because it's there's so many grandmas out there that has suffered. And they also passed away. Chase, all these different things, all these different people who passed because of the failure of this fucking government that had infiltrated the deals and that have been fucked from the beginning, and they think they're smart. They think they're getting this shit, and they're just handing out food, and you have to go over there to get their food or sign up or do something to actually go and get it. They're not delivering shit to anyone. You have to be able to be on a fucking access, or you have to be on some kind of government assistance to be able to be helped. And you fucking that pisses me off so much. Wow, I understand now. How that's happening, and then how we're so fucking low on this totem pole of we're in the richest country in the world, but our tribe, our reservations are suffering deeply. It's fucking deep. It's fucking bad, and people are talking about it. People don't want to talk about it. These fucking people, they don't bring it up because they can't afford to talk about it. If they even talk about it, guess how many protesters would come up? This is why they avoid Native American traditions, heritage, grounds of where sacred shit is. I don't want to say sacred shit, just where sacred ground is. They cannot afford to talk about it. Journalists will get in trouble if they even fucking talk about shit that will rise up from people protesting. That little pipeline, you talk about that pipeline, to me, that pipeline ain't shit compared to what the fuck else is going on under all the other shit. That pipeline, that's great. That happened because a lot of people woke up from that shit, right? They woke up, they're like, oh yeah, that's what we can't. It was already signed off. It was deal. It was a done deal before even that shit was fucking even announced as it was gonna be a fucking pipe going through there. That shit was gonna be a done deal. It was almost a waste. That's why there's military was there, everything, dude. They pushed those out so fucking bad. They were you know what, I know that's why no media covered it. No national media. You didn't see it.
Media covered it for a little bit and then gone.
Yeah. And then they had to do some other distractions.
Media has control of, I would say, a lot of the world. Because if you think about it, anything that pops up on social media, you're already in tune on your phone. You can see it. I mean, that's media. That's just they cover the truth of the bad part. Like
It pisses me off, man.
they cover like the end of the story, and then you get this kid or this person that is beat up or this, but then they don't cover the person of the fact that he was trying to defend somebody
Yeah.
and then he gets beat up. They don't they don't cover that other than the fact that he's getting beat up or
Yeah. Well, dude, it's a bad fucking thing, man.
it is. It's terrible. I mean,
like that's not even that, but like that whole pipeline, all that protest and shit, like it's all fucking just one thing. That's like, well, it shows that these conglomerates, these big companies, these fucking politicians do not give a fuck about tribal anything. Tribal, whether it's
First of
sacred
all,
lands,
they don't.
earth,
All right, so
fucking whatever the fuck.
the pipeline goes one way and it goes this way. They can care less what states it runs through, and care less where it goes through. But yet they only reason why I know is because they get paid out because of it. They have to get some glorified check from it. Because I mean, why else would they sign off on something that?
Yeah, if it was my land, right? So the river is right here.
I
Right?
mean,
Say it's
literally.
down here. Like I look out the window, I can see the river.
They had a pipeline right down the river,
And some gangster ass fucking, company dude from the oil company. Hey, hi, yeah, hi, we're from Lane.
Don't say that.
I'll just play it. I'll just
Don't
play
say
it.
that is bad ownership.
No. These were
That-
companies like
that-
from across like actually Middle Eastern companies. I
You're
think.
actually in the wrong aspect of companies, so don't do that. Don't do that.
I was just playing. Listen, look, I'm saying like, just as a name,
No.
they come in the house though. Like they knock on your door, boom. Hi, would you like $300,000 if we can just run a big large pipe through this backyard? Like wow.
And we're gonna pump a lot of fluid through it.
Yeah, we're gonna pump a lot of fluid. The potential of it busting is
High.
45%.
And we're gonna have one pump sit here and run all the time that pushes the fluid that way.
Yes.
Right? That's what happens when you run a pipeline. You gotta have.
And it could be 300,000 plus a year.
You have to have a pump that push, because when you have a large line,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have transfer pumps to actually push fluid.
And whoever signed for it.
Senators, governors.
What
That's his exiting
Yeah.
message.
Well, he exited. But did he have to use the restroom? He had to use the restroom. Man, that's crazy. I'm sorry. What did you? But what do you think? What do you think, though? I mean, as far as like what's
There's
going
just
on,
so much corruption.
this
And
corruption
I
with
just
that
don't, I
whole
don't
thing.
understand, like you were saying, why the elders can't be taken care of.
I'm talking about just the elder.
It's year in and year out. Like there's no improvement anywhere.
Yeah. Mm.
They can't get help. If they have family, then that's great. Then they have somebody to kind of advocate for them and go to these places where they're dispersing food. That's cool. But what if they don't have family?
Yeah, there's people out there that don't have any family, right?
Right.
And they were talking about like, oh well, curfew's at 8. And they even shut down the weekend
What?
on the reservation. We're talking
Yeah.
about how they're distributing food, trying to get people some food, and people run out of supplies out there. If I was literally living out there, there's no way I would have enough savings to be able to buy up and stock up for about a month and
Right.
stay and fucking quarantine my ass out there.
Right.
There's no fucking way. There's no way. There's not enough. Maybe I could go a week or two. But like to actually get out there, go to Gala or go wherever the fuck plus food is running out everywhere. You expect me to fucking just drive around all of the United States trying to figure out where the fuck to get tissue and all this shit from. And then you want me to bring that shit back and then, stay quarantined for a long period of time. This pandemic is still going on. It's been a couple months. There's no fucking way. Anybody. And if somebody out there has been quarantined since when it started, I would like to know who the fuck they are, what the fuck they're doing. I'm talking about reservation. I'm talking about like living in the Navajo Nation, actually fucking going through it and trying to quarantine and figuring out where you at, where you live, what's going on. You know what I mean?
First of all, a lot of Native Americans that live on the reservation live check to check.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way that they can say, "Hey, you."
Or they live on assistance, government assistance.
Which is not even enough. Even
Close enough.
Yeah, even if you lived on government assistance, like, and you bought all of what you tried to, like, that would probably last you a week or two.
No.
What?
Depending on how big the family is, what the fuck?
Or less. So you're saying, okay, let's say 2 weeks or less. Because a lot of people are diabetic. They're probably addicted to food. They keep snacking all the fucking time.
You think about it, a diabetic's, how do you say, appetite or way of living is really expensive.
Yeah, they're eating constantly.
Yeah, they're eating,
throughout the day.
You can't do it on the reservation.
Yeah, especially with the kind of condition that was going. Like you had to literally have a fasting days.
Think about think about this is that the Native Americans had no dietary restrictions of anything of diabetes. There was no strain of. You can a human strain of DNA and whatever, you can constrain diabetes through that.
Yeah.
That was not part of.
Yeah.
It was constructed. I mean, you got these Native Americans now are diabetic.
Yeah.
What?
Sleepy.
Oh, now you're telling me I'm diabetic. I'm like, no, I'm not
She
diabetic.
pointed at you, was like, you're diabetic. You're about to be diabetic. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible.
That's evil wished upon me.
Well, yeah.
That is bad.
Shit.
That is terrible, man. That is terrible. Why would you say that? Why did you say I'm diabetic?
Oh, Steph pointing at you while we're talking about diabetes.
I was trying to get your attention.
What?
I'm sleepy.
Go sleeping over there?
Oh, yeah, look.
I'm sleepy.
Over here, look.
No.
Hush.
You want to lay down on the couch?
No.
She wants to go
I'll lay
home.
down in my bed.
Okay, well.
Let's end this podcast then. We'll continue this. I'm going to post this up, though, Monday. I mean, probably shouldn't say that. I'll post it up as soon as I can. Real soon. It's going to be quick. I ain't even going to listen to this. This is it. I'm tired of fucking trying to, oh, yeah, just post shit up and just do it. Because right now, man, I have a bunch of shit that I had to post too, and I'm trying to figure if I should make music video or whatever the fuck.
Do you think we're even close to the mic that you can understand it?
Yeah, look at that.
All I see is lines, bro.
Yeah, it is.
140.
I can't hear him. I don't have a.
What about two? We're about almost 2 hours.
I don't have. Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is
Next
okay.
time? Okay. Next time I know what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the paranormal.
You need to speak up, lady. Speak up, like.
Paranormal.
I'm just kidding. I want to talk about the paranormal.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know.
But next time. Because I'm tired.
Okay. Hey, let's cut this, man.
All right.
Listen, look, thank you guys for, being, coming over and being able to do this podcast. Like, I'll cut this and we'll end it here. This is Rezmade Podcast we'll do number 12.
Boom. It's official.
Boom, it's official. It's gonna come out
Sign
right
off,
after.
Bud. I was kidding. That's not my name. I was kidding.
That's not my name.
Really? You want to state your name then?
No, I don't.
You'll have a name for the next one.
To be continue with the name.
All right. Well, anyways, podcast 11 out.
12?
Thank you guys for coming. Podcast 12. Yeah, I said 12.
You said 11.
Podcast 12. Okay, sorry. 12. We will be back for another episode. Stay tuned.
Let the bad energy drain from our bodies and replenish with good, positive, loving energy. Namaste. Subscribe, comment, and like. Black Chief Rezmade channel. Get involved. From the Rezmade movement, we come to you in peace. For all people, we are the messengers from up above. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm fucking with y'all. Alright, have a good day.